NDA is headed for a landslide victory in Bihar. What worked for them and what didn't work for the Mahagathbandhan. We've been analyzing the Bihar elections as and when we see the results coming in throughout the day. And for this live, I have two of my colleagues with me right now. We have Jyoti Yadav joining us live from Patna, and we have my colleague Mayank Kumar. We may have more of my colleagues joining in from the ground, who are at the ground right now, and those who have reported from the ground as well. So do keep watching this live. And also for our viewers, just to remind you, I'm constantly checking your questions as well. So do keep sending in your questions, and I will be taking them as we proceed with this. Jyoti, to begin with you, you've been, reporting from Bihar, not even just in these elections, but generally for the past year or so. And there was a lot of development based narrative that the NDA and the Nitish Kumar government was trying to bring in. You've also written stories on the changing face of Bihar. What have you seen on the ground? What has changed? What remains the same? And what sort of change resonated with the voter in Bihar?
Thank you, Apoorva. So I've been covering Bihar for the last 1 year, and I've been doing these the changing Bihar stories from the ground. And I've done stories on industries and the electricity, how Nitish Kumar government has uh, 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 built infrastructure in medical field, in sports, and they have been doing lots of developmental work. Of course, there are things that are wrong with Bihar, that are not changing as much in terms of migration, employment. But when it comes to development, and that is very, in the physical sense of development, buildings, roads, and electricity. So that I could see the changing Bihar in my long form reports from the ground. So one of the stories that I did was on ethanol factories in Bihar. So there are crises in ethanol sector in Bihar, but these factories, once you travel in the small towns in Bihar, and these factories with their tall chimneys, they provide a psychological, assurance that factories are coming to Bihar. I've read Shekhar's writings on the wall, and he says that the Bihar is still poor, but it has changed for the better, and I agree with him because I've seen the change at the ground level. People from the who are living their lives at the margins, they speak about having electricity, having roads to their houses. So I think it really helped the NDA in their political pitch that they are pro development.
Okay, thank you for that answer. Jyoti, I will come back to you with the role that the women votes played in these elections as well. But before that, moving to Mayank. Mayank, you were on the ground as well. You've written stories about, the sort of candidates that stood in the Bihar elections. There were dons and their family members. Lay out the entire scene for us. Who are the characters in these stories? What are the constituencies that you were watching out for, where characters with, candidates with criminal backgrounds were standing for elections?
Well, Apoorva, say the Jungle Raj narrative was on the ground, and it was being, spoke about. It was being circulated by no less than Amit Shah, the Union Home Minister. So he was also talking about it when he went to Raghunathpur, and even after that. So the Jungle Raj narrative was playing out, at least from the part of the BJP and the NDA alliance, when some of the candidates, say Osama Sahab got ticket, also Suraj Bhan Singh wives got ticket from Mokama. But on the ground, if you see it, you can call it a mixed bag. So if I give you, say, seat-wise breakup, so from Brahmapur, from where LJP's Hulas Pandey, mind you, he was made an accused by CBI in the murder of Brahmeshwar Mukhya. He is currently leading from that constituency in Mokama, which is called as you or I may not agree with the term, but it has been termed as gangland, so to say, colloquially, in Bihar politics, because there in Mokama, Suraj Bhan Singh's wife is up against the leader. You can call him leader because the people say him so, and they vote for him, as he is going ahead by 19,000 votes. 75% votes have been counted. So he might be on his way to his sixth term, and mind you, this will be the third term that he will be winning elections straight from jail. So he was in jail in 2010, he was in jail in 2015. Sorry, I beg your pardon. He was in jail in 2015, then in 2020, and again this year. So days before polls, he was arrested in a dramatic fashion by Patna police in case of a murder of a party worker who was another strongman from RJD earlier, but he was with Piyush Priyadasi, the local candidate from the Jan Swaraj party. So he was arrested, but despite that, he seems to be winning, because I think just 7 rounds of voting is remaining, and he's ahead by 19,000 votes. It's around 1 p.m. So more or less the trend should stay that way in Mokama, giving Anand Singh another term. Then you go to Lalganj in Vaishali district, just 60 to 70 kilometers away from Patna. So there, Munna Sukla's daughter, Shivani Sukla, is trailing. We reported from that area, some of the people we spoke to, they were not quite happy about the kind of campaign and the approach that her campaign team took, that she was going across the villages and she was crossing over from one street to another at a very rapid pace. Some of the people we spoke to, they complained that her campaign did not focus on personal man-to-man or women-to-women interaction, because not all of them knew who Shivani Sukla was, because she has studied in DPS RK Puram as well as in United Kingdom. So people knew that who Shivani Sukla is. She is daughter of Munna Shukla, who is a strongman candidate from the local area, but currently he is lodged in jail because he was convicted and sentenced in the very infamous murder of Brij Bihari Prasad, who was shot down by gangsters from Bihar at the time. Suraj Bhan Singh, mind you, who is in opposition to Anand Singh from Mokama, he was made an accused who allegedly conspired the entire series of murder of Brij Bihari Prasad, the entire planning, and then the people who assaulted him, who killed him, apparently he made the plan for them to flee. But CBI court in Patna convicted him. Then Patna High Court gave him a benefit of doubt. There's a lot of backstory about it, but he was given benefit of doubt. So the Jungle Raj narrative was all over there from the BJP and NDA side, but it's not that the BJP or the NDA did not have their share of the gangsters who turn into the honorables and contested elections. However, they seem to be winning. But RJD on overall scene, if you compare, the Jungle Raj narrative seems to have dented their prospects. But some of the posters who have Jungle Raj is still out there in Bihar politics, and some of them are also winning the elections.
Before I ask the next question to you, Mayank, for our viewers, there was a bit of technical difficulty because of which our chat wasn't switched on, but now it is. So you can still send us your questions and we'll be taking them through this live. Mayank, this is from the perspective of the parties and the candidates that were standing. Now, what about, since you reported from the ground as well, what was the sentiment on the ground? Did people resonate with this Jungle Raj narrative? Or we see these candidates still performing well, candidates with a criminal history or criminal past or criminal background, even if they may not have been convicted or if the conviction was set aside by a higher court. What did you see on the ground?
So see, take for an example, I'll give example of Mokama because I visited several villages in Mokama. So the questions that I had in mind, that what people know about them, and who are Anand Singh or say Suraj Bhan Singh for the common public there, who knew them before they became what they became in the charge sheet of the agencies or the investigators. So about them, say some of them concede in private that it's up to the party to decide who their candidate will be, because if they have a choice only between Suraj Bhan Singh's wife and Anand Singh or his wife, because there is a context of interchanging candidature between the gangster and their wives after their conviction or sentencing, leading to their disqualification from the electoral politics. But the people have people in private, they concede that if party make up their mind based on winnability factor, that say if Anand Singh or a Suraj Bhan Singh or a Hulas Pandey or a Ritlal Yadav, for that example from Danapur, they are given ticket based on the basis of their winnability and the kind of people that they can bring to the polling booth to vote for them, then the people do not have too many choices. However, their point of view about these gangsters turned politicians are also different, because they have a different context to from where they are looking at it. So some of the people I spoke to in downtown Mokama, in the township, they say that the rise of Suraj Bhan Singh happened after they were fed up with the kind of terror that the family of Anand Singh and his elder brother Dilip Singh, who was a former cabinet minister in the Bihar government, in the government of Jagannath Mishra, which was a Congress government. So at that time, the terror and the fear from that family, from Nadwa village, from where they belong to, so the fear was such that they wanted someone to rise to their challenges and to raise their points in Mukama, to challenge the might of Bad area. So Bad is a very what to say, it's sandwiched between Patna and Mukama, around 20-25 kilometers in between. So some of the people hail Suraj Bhan as their leader, because in their views, Suraj Bhan stood tall against Anand Singh and his family and his elder brothers, who were very powerful at that time. So Suraj Bhan Singh, in the charge sheet of the investigators, is a very dreaded criminal. For some of the people, he still is. And they also concede that if, say, RJD would not have fielded him, they might have considered voting for them, because they wanted to end the cycle of violence that completely has encircled the politics of Mokama. Some of the people have spoken in private to us. We have reported on that they wanted to get out of the clutches of violence that has encircled Mokama over the past so many decades. It is very near to the capital, but it is known for being a gangland, being known for gangsters, violence, inter-gang rivalry. They wanted to get out of that clutches, but the options are very limited, because all the parties are focusing on only the candidates who can fetch votes, and in this case, the choice is very limited for the voters.
Right. Thank you for that analysis, Mayank. Mayank has written a very detailed story on this as well. So do check out his articles on the Print's website. Jyoti, coming to you now, this is something that we've seen, that women voters came out in high numbers this time. In fact, their poll percentage was 71%, their poll participation, and this has been the highest since independence. In fact, they not just voted more than men percentage wise, but also absolute number wise. So women came out in large quantities to vote this time. Of course, we can't make a direct correlation right now, but what role did you see Jivika Didis playing in this entire campaign? Because everybody was also trying to woo them. Of course, they were a base that Nitish Kumar had made, but even the Mahagathbandhan tried to promise them a few things in their manifestos. Everybody knew that they could play a role in these elections. What was your sense of it?
थैंक यू फॉर द क्वेश्चन अपूर्वा. सो मैं एक बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरी बताना चाहूँगी. मैं मधुबनी में थी अ डे बिफोर द पोलिंग ऑन 11th, एंड आई वाज प्रोफाइलिंग दिलीप, एंड आई थिंक मोस्ट ऑफ अस नो हिम एज फराह खान्स कुक, दिलीप, एंड हिज वाइफ इज अ जीविका दीदी इन मधुबनी. तो मैं उनकी प्रोफाइल करने उनके घर गई थी अ डे बिफोर पोलिंग, और वहाँ पर बहुत सारी जीविका दीदीज, एंड दिस इज़ इन अ मल्ला टोला. मल्लाज आर फिशरमैन इन बिहार, and these didis, they had gathered to speak to me about Dilip's success, and we were just chatting about what they were going to do with their vote. उन्होंने कहा कि जो 10,000 हमें मिले हैं, उनसे मैंने 3 बकरियां खरीद ली हैं, कुछ नए फेस्टिवल्स में स्पेंड किया, एंड नाउ दे आर ईगरली वेटिंग फॉर द नेक्स्ट इंस्टॉलमेंट विच इज 2 लाख रुपीज. एंड उन्होंने एक स्वर में लामबंद होकर ये कहा कि वी आर गोइंग टू वोट फॉर मोदी सरकार. सो आई थिंक जीविका दीदीज, for the longest they have been voting for Nitish Kumar, but till now, 2025 के election से पहले, the जीविका scheme was, central to the rural development for Nitish Kumar government. But for the first time, they have used this 1.5 crore women voters as a political tool. And उनको वो करने के लिए the 10,000 rupees was a top up, और additionally 2 lakh rupees जिसका वो इंतजार कर रही हैं. I think if you try to make sense of the percentage of women voters outnumbering men, उसमें ये एक बात है कि उन्होंने अपनी नेक्स्ट इंस्टॉलमेंट के लिए भी वोट किया है. वो जो 10,000 इनफ नहीं है जो टॉप अप मिला है, उसके साथ साथ 2 लाख रुपए भी नीतीश कुमार गवर्नमेंट उनको NDA गवर्नमेंट ने प्रॉमिस किया है. सो जीविका दीदीज का आई थिंक मोर देन द जेंजीज और द अनएम्प्लॉयड यूथ और इवन द कास्ट जो अर्थमेटिक्स होते हैं, जीविका दीदीज का बहुत बड़ा रोल था. और लास्ट के 20-25 ईयर्स से 2006-7 के अराउंड ये स्कीम आई थी. उसके बाद से वो बहुत ही फॉर्मली उन्होंने नीतीश कुमार को बैक किया है. एंड ऑल्सो प्रोहिबिशन, बिकॉज प्रोहिबिशन बिहार में नीतीश कुमार ऐसा कई सारी अपनी रैलीज में कहते हैं कि ड्यूरिंग वन सच मीटिंग विद जीविका दीदीज, वन ऑफ द दीदीज she got up and she asked Nitish Kumar to ban liquor in the state. So behind the policies in Bihar that we see, और जो हम ग्राउंड पर जाते हैं across departments, जीविका एक बहुत ही पावरफुल और सेंट्रल रोल प्ले करता है. And so yes, जीविका दीदीज did play a huge role. And also when NDA announced 10,000 rupees top up, I think उसी टाइम पर जो अपोजिशन की पार्टीज थी, RJD एंड अदर्स, आई थिंक एक मॉरल डिफीट उस वक्त वी कुड सेंस इन देयर प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंसेस कि उन्होंने उस वक्त मान लिया था कि ये सबसे बड़ा जो मास्टर स्ट्रोक था फॉर द NDA, इट वाज द 10,000 rupees टू जीविका दीदीज.
Jyoti, not just Jivika Didis, there's a lot of welfare measures also that have been taken in the past, जो इस बार नीतीश कुमार के NDA के बहुत सारे कैंडिडेट्स उस पर रिलाई कर रहे थे. हम उस बात पे भी आएंगे आपसे सवाल करने, लेकिन बिफोर दैट मयंक, हमें कुछ चैट पे सवाल आ रहे हैं. I'd like to take those. A lot of them are similar. Divyesh Salyan is asking who could be a CM candidate for NDA in Bihar. Will it be from JDU or BJP? Will there be infighting for that post? Aditya is also asking a similar question. Will BJP get his own CM considering the fact that they have got more seats than JDU? What is your analysis of this?
See, Apoorva, these questions are not wrongly placed, because see, if you go back in time, say around the same time last month, during an interview, Amit Shah was asked this question, that who will be the chief minister. Then he had said that this call will be taken by the member of the Legislative Assembly, who will be winning in the election that was due on 6th and 11th. That statement, created a lot of chaos as well as controversy and talking points among the alliance as well as the opposition taking pot shots at the BJP that they wanted to replace Nitish Kumar. And it took around, I think, 2 weeks for the BJP to attempt to clear that air, because when Amit Shah did a campaign rally, then he said that Nitish Kumar will remain the leader of the alliance, and that there is no vacancy for CM in this state. But this phrase that this election is being fought under the leadership of Nitish Kumar is not very convincing, and that is why these questions have remained floated in the air. Because if you go back to the Madhya Pradesh election as well as Maharashtra election, BJP's response was that those elections were fought under the leadership of first Shivraj Singh Chauhan and then Eknath Shinde. But right after the election, we saw that both of them were replaced by the BJP leadership. So that answer by all the BJP leaders, there was a phrase that everything was done under the leadership of Nitish Kumar, was not convincing. Then after the first phase of polling happened, then there were posters in Patna and with the phrase that 2025 फिर से Nitish. So it seemed that JDU either was.
I spotted one. Sorry to interrupt. There was also a poster that said "Tiger abhi zinda hai" for the Nitish Kumar.
So it looked like the JDU was trying to assert that narrative that if results come in their favor, in the favor of the alliance, Nitish Kumar will remain CM. And even Dilip Jaiswal, who is the president of the BJP, apparently he has said the same phrase that 2025 fir se Nitish. So see, the questions are not wrongly placed, but based on what I understand and based from on the information that I have seen and what I have read and talked to the journalists, and as well as some leaders in JDU, as well as some leaders in BJP. Not a lot I have spoken to, but some of them, they are privately admitting that there's no question about who will be the chief minister, at least in the near term. So Nitish Kumar will take that CM chair, and there's no doubt about it on the some of the leaders in the alliance.
And if he does, this will be the 10th time that he takes oath as CM, which is a record in itself. Jyoti, coming back to you,
Yes.
it wasn't just the 10,000 rupees for the Jivika Didis. Of course, उसके बाद भी उन्हें बोला गया था कि ये एक installment है, अगर आपने इसको ठीक से use किया तो you can even get up to 2 lakh more, if
2
I'm
lakh.
not wrong. 2 लाख तक.
Correct.
तो वो उनका बहुत एस्पिरेशन भी हो सकता है कि उन्हें दिख रहा हो कि और पैसा आ सकता है हमारे लिए, जिसको हम इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. ठीक से हमारी एक सहकर्मी नूतन शर्मा ने इस पे स्टोरी भी की थी लिख के कि किस तरह से जीविका दीदीज इन 10,000 रुपए को यूज कर रही हैं. तो आप वो भी हमारी स्टोरी जाके पढ़ सकते हैं. ज्योति, हमें और वेलफेयर मेजर्स के बारे में बताइए. एक आपने प्रोहिबिशन की बात की, उसके बारे में भी बताइए, और बताइए कि ग्राउंड पे ये वेलफेयर मेजर्स किस तरह से रेजोनेट कर रहे थे. और बिहार में स्पेशली एक ऐसी स्टेट है जहां आइडेंटिटी पॉलिटिक्स बहुत स्ट्रांग हुआ करती थी. इस बार क्या आपके हिसाब से ये वेलफेयर मेजर्स की जो एक इट हैज बीन इन द माइंड्स ऑफ पीपल, क्या वो ज्यादा प्रायोरिटी ले गई है ओवर आइडेंटिटी पॉलिटिक्स?
Right. So apart from the 10,000 rupees to Jivika Didis, government ने जो पेंशन है, ओल्ड एज पेंशन है, उसको भी बढ़ाकर 1100 रुपये कर दिया, जो कि बहुत बड़ा एक अगेन मास्टर स्ट्रोक कहा जा रहा था तीन महीने पहले, और अभी उसने बहुत काम किया. So I was watching a bite where an old lady says that I can't betray Nitish Kumar because he has given me a social security. My son has abandoned me, but it is this 1,100 rupees that is helping me sustain and survive. So I think उनके इंटरव्यू से ये टेक अवे है कि इस तरह के जो सोशल वेलफेयर के जो मेजर्स लिए गए, स्पेशली द डायरेक्ट कैश ट्रांसफर, उसने बहुत आइडेंटिटी पॉलिटिक्स को थोड़ा सा साइडलाइन बिल्कुल किया है, क्योंकि क्रॉस कास्ट ईबीसीज एससीज, सो उन सबको जो पैसा मिला है, जो कैश ट्रांसफर हुआ है उसने. एंड अगेन आई सेड कि डेवलपमेंट तो उस वोटर को दिख रहा है जो एकदम नीचे के तबके में भी नहीं है, जो बहुत इलीट भी नहीं है, जिसको फिजिकल सेंस में डेवलपमेंट चाहिए, जिसे रोड दिखना चाहिए, जिसे बड़े अस्पताल दिखने चाहिए, जिसे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी दिखनी चाहिए. सो उन लोगों के लिए जो पिछले 3-4 साल का काम था उसने काम किया. बट इन द लास्ट 3 months जो कि बहुत क्रूशियल थे, उसमें हर सोशल ग्रुप को केटर किया गया. एवरी बॉक्स वाज टिक्ड, आइदर जीविका दीदीज और द अनएम्प्लॉयड. क्योंकि पिछले 1-2 साल में जब से तेजस्वी के साथ नीतीश कुमार आए थे, तो उन्होंने क्योंकि युवाओं को रोजगार देने की बहुत बात की थी कि इतनी लाख नौकरियां हम देंगे, तो पिछले 1-2 साल में कॉन्ट्रैक्चुअल जो एम्प्लॉइज थे गवर्नमेंट के, उनके भी जो सैलरीज को गवर्नमेंट ने बढ़ाया है. सो सारे जो बॉक्सेस टिक हुए, एवरी ग्रुप इज given some sort of cash. So उसने मेरे ख्याल से it played a huge role. But I also wanted to speak about prohibition. If you travel across rural Bihar, the ones who are in jail for this in liquor act, they are mostly the lower castes, lowered castes, और वही उसके सबसे बड़े विक्टिम हैं, क्योंकि उन्हीं की जो पूरी ये जो इकोनॉमी बन गई है, पैरेलल इकोनॉमी आफ्टर द बैन, उसके सबसे बड़े विक्टिम्स आर द लोअर्ड कास्ट ग्रुप्स. तो जब आप जाएंगे तो वो बहुत ही अग्रेसिवली इस बारे में इसके अगेंस्ट में बात करते हैं, बट वो कैसे सबड्यूड हो गया, वो सारा एंगर कहाँ पर अरेस्ट कर लिया गया, तो उसका अभी मैं तो कोरिलेशन यही देख रही हूँ कि जो जो सोशल वेलफेयर की स्कीम्स को लास्ट के 3 मंथ्स में जिसके ऊपर बैटिंग की गई, उसने उसको एक तरह से उस सारे नेगेटिव नैरेटिव को अरेस्ट कर लिया, एंड इट वर्कड इन नीतीश कुमार एंड नरेंद्र मोदी's favor, because at the ground nobody says मैंने सिर्फ नीतीश को दिया, वो कहते हैं मोदी सरकार, एंड मोदी सरकार में नीतीश is a part of मोदी सरकार, so that's how they call it.
And it seemed to have worked for the NDA alliance, which is leading in three-fourths of the seats so far, and it's 1:30 p.m. So we know that they are headed for a landslide victory. Coming to you now, Mayank. Let's talk about LJP, Chirag Paswan's party. We haven't discussed a lot about it so far, but tell us, I mean, they seem to be doing well. Give us numbers also on how they've been doing and tell us what worked for them and was this expected? Did you expect this?
No, frankly, Apoorva, I did not expect this strike rate, and I don't think even LGP would be expecting this strike rate, because see, the number of constituencies that they were given to fight this time was considerably less, because in 2020, I think, if I recall the number correctly, they contested on more than 130 seats and won only one. But what went against
But
the alliance?
they weren't a part of NDA then, right?
Yes. So they contested separately. They contested around 130 or 140 seats, 135 seats they contested on. They won only one. But what it harmed the NDA, that it harmed the chances of JDU and around 20 seats. So the JDU's tally came down from, I think, 65 to some 43 or 45. So out of the 28 or 25 seats that JDU lost, 20 were inflicted by the LGP. This time, NDA did not want that to happen. So even when you saw that there was some infighting between the alliance members and there were some cryptic statements from both the parties, you saw that the brother-in-law of Chirag Paswan making some tweets, as well as Giriraj Singh making tweets and taking a veiled dig at LGP about the strike rate, because apparently LGP leadership was telling the NDA leaders that since they were given 5 seats in 2024 Lok Sabha elections and they won on all of them, so they had 100% strike rate. So they wanted to contest on, say, 35 or 40 seats, but in the end they were given 29 seats and they are leading on 21 at this point in time. There were talks that Chirag Paswan may also contest, and there were also cryptic statements from him that jab tak main is sarkar ka mantri hu, I have to work. So in a way, it looked like at that time that he might give up his union ministership and go back to Bihar to contest, because he has been speaking about this Bihari first narrative. On the factors that might have worked, so I'm not sure that those factors, also the analysis is yet to be done on that from the people who have seen it from the ground and the pollsters on how the vote transfer happened. But my guess is that a lot of it might happen from the context of the vote transfer from the JDU and the BJP's quartet as well, because this time around, as Jyoti was saying, that this time the factor is different, that they are part of the NDA alliance. On going ahead with what this brings to the table is that now Chirag Paswan's party is also a formidable challenger in NDA in Bihar. So this factor was not there in Bihar after, if you remember and go back in history. So in the first 2005 assembly elections, LGP had got a good number of seats, I think 35 or 40. Then there was a point made by late Ramvilas Paswan that there should be a Muslim chief minister face, and then the government could not be formed, and there was precedent rule in Bihar for some months. And then Nitish Kumar came back with a resounding mandate in the October election of 2005 to never be dethroned by any of the opposition parties. So, but now the LGP has gained momentum, and now that they have won 21, it will change the internal dynamics of the party. It should, I should say that it should change the internal dynamics, because now they are a player, they have 21 seats, and out of the 29, if they are delivering on 21, they again can go back to say that our strike rate has been improving only. So that will change some internal dynamics among the NDA partners. But yes, they have emerged as a, you can say, as a dark horse of this early trends.
There's one more question for both of you, whoever wants to take it, or if both of you want to answer it. What about Tejasvi Yadav? They used to have a consolidated Muslim Yadav vote base, but with how the polling has happened, even in Muslim dominated areas, doesn't look like they were able to consolidate that as well. Is this a rejection of Tejasvi Yadav as a leader by Bihar?
Do you want to take it up, Jyoti?
No, you answer, please.
Just closing remarks from both of you.
I've been seeing some memes on Twitter about Sanjay Yadav, his go-to man, and they have been, things are not looking good for him. And there are talks in Patna as well that, he might have to, go back to Delhi or from where he came, because this time there was an infighting within the family, and now there will be, consequences of this loss for him.
Ma'am,
So,
would you like to
Yes.
Yeah. So my closing remark, I'll take it from our political editor DK Singh, who said that Tejasvi Yadav failed to inspire confidence among the loyal support base that Lalu had created uh, through the rule of 15 years. So looks like by the numbers that RJD has produced, it does not seem that the loyal support base of Lalu Prasad Yadav have voted in large number for the RJD, and some of the reasons were out there for everyone to see. So he could not travel even say 90 or 100 kilometers when the weather was bad. Even we were in Bihar for a period of week, the weather was bad due to cyclone, there was persistent rain. But even then, so there were two contrasting narrative. If we have time, there were two contrasting narrative playing out in Bihar, Apoorva, that Nitish Kumar was unwell, he was not in control of the situation and the bureaucracy, he was not keeping up well, he could not travel. But when the rain was there and there was no weather clearance for the helicopters to take off, he took road route and traveled around 80 to 90 kilometers to hold some public rally and speeches. He delivered speeches. He traveled across the road, taking his cavalcade. He is a CM who was facing stern criticism and skepticism about his bad health, that he could not be, taking good control over the bureaucracy and the party leaders and the internal dynamics of the alliance as well as the government. Here we had an opposition leader who was a challenger, who has been a challenger and had a political baggage of Jungle Raj from his parents' rule. He did not travel even to, and I don't know the numbers now, but I clearly recall that some of the leaders of the RJD on ground, say for example in Lalganj, when I asked some of the supporters and the people who were managing campaign of Shivani Shukla that if they were expecting Tejasvi Yadav to arrive, although the rally was, I think it was planned in few days' time, they were saying that it depends on the weather and we may not see Tejasvi Yadav there, although the place was only 60 to 70 kilometers. So when these contrasting narratives were playing out that Nitish Kumar was unwell and he was not in command of everything, bureaucracy and the functioning of the party as well as the government, he traveled on road and went to hold rallies and speeches. On the contrary, Tejasvi Yadav was on phone and he was giving interviews to media who went from Delhi, sitting at home. He was conducting public speeches over call in virtual rally. Frankly speaking, I'm too young to have seen all these speeches in Bihar, but I don't think that works in Bihar, at least, and seems like it has not worked for him either.
Thank you for those closing remarks, Jyoti and Mayank, and thank you for joining us for this live. For all our viewers, thank you for joining in, for sending in your questions. As I mentioned earlier, both of my colleagues here and a lot of my other colleagues also have been reporting from Bihar. They've written very detailed stories for all of you to read. So do go to our website and check out all of their stories. Keep track of our YouTube channel today. There's a lot of lives coming in for you, lots of analysis videos. I have a question here asking, will SG come live? Not in this live, but I'm sure there will be analysis from him coming your way as well, analysis from DK. So do keep an eye out on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching.